Hello, how is everyone? Welcome to Frightners Friday night. Woo! How is
Whoa.
how is my co-hosts?
Vivian?
I'm fine. Bit tired, bit burnt, but I'm good. I'm all right.
Living your best life.
Yeah.
Yeah, planting carrots.
How's you, Jamie?
I'm good, thanks. All good. Bit tired,
How-
but
How's you, handsome?
All the better for seeing you. All the better for seeing
Oh.
you. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Oh, I'm good. Looking forward to tonight's subject.
wouldn't.
Usually it's Vivian that
Hi,
does
Emma.
the introduction, but tonight they've left it to me because, well, I picked this subject because I thought it would be a really interesting one.
hi, Gary.
Gary.
Tonight we're talking about ghosts
Hi, Gary.
and
Hi, mate.
Hi, Kevin.
That's you,
ghosts.
Gary.
Dags. Sick note.
Hello, Gary, you're right.
Hi everyone.
Sick
So
note.
we're talking tonight about obviously ghosts and interactions. So when we're talking about interactions with ghosts, we're not talking.
Are you William?
Yeah.
Hi, William.
Hi, William. Not your hello, how you doing? But we're talking about people who have claimed they've had sex with ghosts. Well, what a subject.
Why you go? Well, you're going red, didn't you?
I'm a bit because I picked the subject and knew you have asked, so put me in line.
It's Dan for you.
So why I picked this subject was the person.
The good-looking one, Terry. The good-looking one.
Everybody, because I've seen this subject on, was it this morning when somebody went on and claimed that they had sex with a ghost. It was the best feeling in the world. I don't know how they're feeling, but each to their own. They were getting married. She was getting married to the spirit. Now, this is when we talk about people getting married to weird things. I've heard people in America getting married to their pets, getting married. Recently in this, actually in the paper, there was somebody that was sexually attracted to planes. Don't ask me why, but that's just everybody's strange things. So what's your opinions if somebody had to come to you guys, right, and say, I'm having a relationship with a ghost and it's the best sex I've ever had? What would you guys honestly think? Dan?
I'd ask if you had a sister.
To be honest, if it was like if you're having a sister, I would want to know about the feather and how old and everything else, you know.
That's a very valid point, actually, because you'd be having carnal relations with a spirit that was 95 when they passed over, couldn't you? So, yeah, probably not the nicest thing.
Well,
but
if
then
it
I
was
guess,
like Mr. Sloan, then fair dues.
yeah, I don't know. What about you guys? How do you think you feel about it? So would I, Emma.
Jamie, rent a ghost. You go first.
I just got a mouthful of drink.
That's what she said.
It's going to be one of those shows.
Mouth ectoplasm.
Yeah. Until I'm in that situation, I don't know. I really don't know.
What about you?
I don't know until I'm in that situation, to be fair.
Well, this is where I'm going to go deep now, and this is where the X-rated bit comes in. So, let's talk about the female anatomy, right? So, there is a thing that women do called the pelvic floor exercise.
Yep.
And for those that don't know what the pelvic floor exercise, they can contract and release and contract and release their sexual organs down there. And some women have a lot of strength. Well, some do, some don't. when they do this exercise, which could also create orgasm. Fact. So this woman that claims that she's having sex with a ghost, I think it might be a bit of the pelvic floor stuff going on that she's doing herself, and she might be a bit ashamed that she can do this. So I'm just moving my fan, making sure it's not me. So she might be a bit ashamed that she can do this. So she's blaming a ghost or making up a story that she's got a ghost boyfriend.
If she was ashamed, why wouldn't she just shut up and not say anything to anybody about anything?
Or maybe she enjoys doing that herself and giving herself this really nice feeling that somebody's caught her, or somebody's caught her in the act, or that, you know, they've caught her out, or she's talked about it and thought, oh, if I say that this ghost is having sex with me, then it takes the onus away from her. She's not doing it to herself then.
That's a massive jump, only because she's ended up on telly with it. She's got the catching. It's been on national TV. I just think that there's some sort of... It's the same with the whole succubus and incubus, isn't it? I think a lot of it is probably wet dreams.
Well,
and mental health.
Yeah, probably have.
I actually read that they've actually got an expert that explains a name for it. It's called spectrophilia or something.
Is that
I'll send you the article. But that's what an expert classed it as, for having sex with a ghost. My question is, right, in your head, right, do you just like imagine what your ideal person would be, like, and then just like imagine that you're somehow spiritually and emotionally and sexually in love with them? It's almost, you could say it's almost like a celebrity crush. Like, you're right, I'll take Viv and Adam Ant, right? It could be, is it Adam Ant? Yeah. I'm right, and so it's like Viv and Adam Ant. So Viv could have that power of suggestion in her head, you know, I would love to be his wife and I would love to be doing this, and then, you know, it could go down that line, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's when it becomes a problem. If you're that's mental health, because yes, people have fantasies. There's nothing wrong with having fantasies, and there's nothing wrong, dare I say, with people that masturbate. You know, masturbation is quite a normal thing. It's happened since man walked the earth, if you like. You know, it's a normal thing. But today, in today's age, masturbation has become taboo. Yep. Don't ask me why. So when they are masturbating, whether they don't need to use outside toys, they're using their own body to be able to reach that, or whether they're using toys to do that. If they have to picture someone that they love to do that and they keep that private, then I say that there's no harm in it. But when they start being public about it and creating personas and that sort of thing, I really have to say, I have to question their mental state of mind.
Oh, it's clearly mental, isn't it? It's clearly healthy. It's just, I mean, sorry, go on, Lois.
No, don't you go, honey.
No, I was just going to say, it's clearly a mental issue. It's just, I mean, you only got to look at the woman to see that she had issues. Was she the same woman that said that she was pregnant with a ghost baby?
Yeah, the lady in Ireland that got divorced from him. She got married to a pirate and then she got divorced. There was that one.
There was one with a ghost baby, wasn't there? Does that count as a phantom pregnancy, though?
Yeah,
it must do.
It must do. But yeah, I mean, there's all sorts. You've only got to see these. But to be honest, it kind of feels a bit odd wheeling them out onto TV and giving them airtime. Not because you're being sympathetic, but for the fact that they seem to be. It's like when the mental institutions used to get people out from the psych wards, and they get them to fight each other. Or they get them to do things. They just embarrass themselves for the gratification of the masses. And that's what I think TV does. And if it feeds into that, I mean, if she's got that kind of issue, then it's a mental health issue that needs that needs addressing. Not through public TV, not through TV.
But there is that case in America, and they made a film about it called The Entity, where the woman was being constantly raped and thrown around and battered and bruised. And it even happened in front of paranormal investigators that were there. I think they were there weeks and weeks on end. But in front of them, she was raped by these unseen hands.
Yeah, I seen that film. I couldn't remember the name of it, but I can remember seeing it.
So, and apparently this thing, when she moved, it followed her.
It did. Didn't she end up falling off the face of the planet somewhere? Nobody knew what happened to her, or she just
went into hiding, didn't she?
Yeah, but apparently it just stayed with her, didn't it? It just followed her everywhere, so she couldn't shake it off. But then I wonder if is it a spirit, or is it an energy you manifest yourself? Could it be
but to do that kind of damage to her, though, it was smacking her around and bruising her, and there was internal damage as well as external, and there's no way she could have done that to herself, not unless she was clearly deranged.
If you manifest an energy, like poltergeist energy,
that's what
we know that poltergeists can carry out some pretty negative things, and they can be very destructive. Thank you, Gary. Is that a case of that? That's what she's manifesting energy, or somebody doesn't like us manifesting energy, and it's attached itself to. I mean, we wouldn't know, would we? But all we know is that it's an entity, isn't it? It's some sort of energy.
Unless that's to me, that sounds really dark. Like, could that not be a cult? Like dark practices going on there? I mean, how on earth can you manifest something as serious as that? And for that to continue, like surely, like after moving, new house, new area, people don't know you. How could that still continue?
Yeah, but it's still got the same. It's still got the same furniture. What the poltergeist? If I would probably class that as a poltergeist because it's still attached to the furniture and the person, so that would still carry on to where she moved in, even if she probably got whole new furniture. I'd still reckon about 25% of that will still be with her in her new furniture, if you know what I mean.
But then again, it could be the fact too, like anything, like when we're out paranormal investigating, we go into places we maybe don't realise that we've picked up on an attachment, and it isn't until we bring it home, and then maybe we still don't realise, and then we're carrying it to your place, to your place, to your place. So no matter how many times, I think until you get rid of the attachment in yourself, it's going to follow you from one place right through to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, until you actually do something about it.
I don't agree with attachments because, and I'll tell you for why. We manifest our own attachments, okay? And they're with us through life, and they're called your personality. So you have your happy, bubbly self, and then you've got your crazy self, or the nasty one that shows up. And these are attachments that we get in life, ghost hunting and things like that. Unless you're really, really unlucky, I don't think you're going to take anything home. I don't think we're placing ourselves like that. I think there's more to it than just an attachment. Something as extreme as that. It's got to be something else more.
It's a very odd one, isn't it? I mean, I used to work with a guy who was an exorcist, and he used to say to me, well, he did dealing one day, somebody's got onto him on the phone, and they said, look, I need to speak to you. Now, he'd known already, because there was an energy, he said, and I believe him completely, because he was a completely believable guy. And he said,
I can't hear you guys sound like it's like this fan keeps hanging, and you keep sounding like he's a million miles away.
It's your fan. Is it moving, Dan, your fan? Does it move?
No, it's facing the other way. It's facing the other way.
Oscillating.
It's off the wall. It's oscillating. Yeah, it is oscillating, but it's not at the minute. I've got it. Is yours?
No, mine's on the floor. My mic's up here.
I've moved it again. Has that made any difference?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, it's better.
Just in case you think I'm growling at you, I'm trying to concentrate on what you're saying.
No, you're all right. Is that any better, Lois?
Right,
that's better.
Oh, good. Sorry, what was I saying now? I was saying about. Oh yes, he was saying about this negative energy. It's energy that he picked up, and we were talking about. He'd just done. Well, I'll get onto that in a minute. But he was saying that another medium had phoned him up the night after he'd gone and he picked up this energy and said to him, "You got this energy that seems to have attached itself to you." And it's come from, and they knew exactly where it had come from, this other medium. So he'd gone and he'd kind of exorcised it. He got rid of it, got them to clear it. I can't remember exactly what happened, but it was interesting because, as he said, I remember he did an exorcism on a woman who actually had an attachment of like an airman from World War II, a Canadian airman. And she said, "Well, I don't know how I picked it up. I've not been anywhere. I've not been out ghost hunting or anything."
How do they know? How do they know it's not a guide?
Well, it turned out to be quite aggressive. This thing turned out to be quite aggressive.
If somebody tried to remove my guide, it'd be aggressive too.
No. This thing got aggressive way before she called somebody in.
Oh,
She didn't know what it was. All she thought was. So he said, "Well, I think you picked," and she was under the impression that you need to be ghost hunting to pick something up. As he quite rightly said, no, a spirit can see you at any time, night or day, just like to you and just follow you.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's all speculation, isn't it? It's all
So I want to get back to the sex naughty ghosts, right?
Well, see, before you start, Viv, right, I found that woman, right? That woman, believe it or not, you're going to kill yourself laughing. She's actually a spiritual guidance counsellor.
What, the one from the entity?
No, the woman that wants the baby with the ghost.
Oh,
The woman wants the baby with the ghost and claims they've already joined the Mile High Club.
Clearly, mental health issues.
Yeah.
She claims they joined the Mile High Club and had sex in the toilets of the plane.
With the ghost?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
So she fiddled with herself. That's obvious.
Yeah.
She said when I was in Australia taking a walk out the bush, just suddenly it approached me. Just something you feel, an emotional, physical presence. I fell in love with it, I guess. It's the one. I mean, like, I believe in love at first sight, but how can you...
Or love at first fright.
Well, exactly. I mean, but how can you... It's a subject that fascinates me from a psychologist point of view as well. Like, people, as I said, talk about obviously being in love with. I just don't get it. I really don't get it.
They said years ago, you'd remember this, Dan, Prozac, when they were issuing Prozac out to people like sweets. And back in the day, what was it? You had Coca-Cola while you was on Prozac. Was it Coke?
Yeah, something, wasn't it?
Something. And you'd start having orgasms. You'd just be sitting there, and all of a sudden you'd start, and this is not just men, women as well. They would be, doing some very strange things in their pants, let's just say. And so then they took Prozac off the market for a while. Rejiggery poker did whatever they do, and now Prozac doesn't do that anymore. There was something in that tablet, and people take Prozac for mental health. So I wonder if these people that are claiming that, how many of them are on antidepressants straight off the bat?
Well, yeah.
That's what I'd be asking myself, and I'd be looking at the medication that they're taking. Can their medication affect their state of mind?
I would think so. It's a weird one, isn't it?
So, right, incubus and succubus. And this goes back hundreds of years, doesn't it? Dan, what are your thoughts about them and what they're doing?
What, incubus and succubus?
Yeah, tell people what incubus and succubus is, for those that don't know.
They're basically sex demons, aren't they? They're negative energies that attach themselves to you, and then what they do is they use sex. And what they're doing is they're drawing energy off of you by having sex with you. They're drawing energy off of you. I don't know anything much else about them apart from that. But I do know a lot of
They're
people have
conjured.
complained.
Are they conjured? They are conjured, aren't
I
they?
think they probably are. Yeah, I would think they're brought in rather than actually just there, because I know. But there's a case, isn't there, of the succubus? No, it was the incubus, wasn't it? The one that was with John up at the ancient Ram.
Yeah.
He had one there, and he swore blind that. I mean, even to the point where he wouldn't sleep in the bedroom anymore. He had to sleep downstairs on the couch, didn't he? Because he felt that was the only place with the Bible next to him. Because he felt that was the only place that he was protected. I don't know. John was a lovely man. I never met him, but John was an eccentric, but a lovely, lovely man. And I'm not going to say that his experiences weren't true, because I've been to that building and I can believe everything he said.
Gary had an experience with a succubus at the Ram, actually at the Ram.
Oh, did you?
What? Oh, wow.
Gary, just tell us in the chat, what is it you actually felt and what that encounter was about, so we can share it with everyone.
His bum poked.
Yeah. He went in the toilet and knocked one out.
Oh, God.
Had a ghost poke.
Yeah, he's paying the bill.
But how many have done that? Let's be honest, we went to the toilet, had a shit, and then it wasn't there, it was gone.
No, but seriously, like, you know, I just can't get my head around these people that say these ghosts are having sex with them. I'm just like, really? Well, okay, you need us. I'm one of them.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening.
I don't.
I mean, it's to them, it's very real because it's in their head, because it's maybe a mental health issue, which I think it clearly is. But then, you know, as I said before, I won't ever say 100% no, it isn't, because I can't detract from somebody else's experiences. Yeah. I'm not there, so.
Viv, was that you?
Oh, well, you've answered your own question here, isn't you?
It was not me. It weren't me, honestly, on my life. There was a few of us there. Andy was there. It was not me. And it was only after the investigation he took us outside and he told me what he actually felt.
What I want to know, though, Gary, is where Sharon was at that particular time.
I don't think she was there, was she? I can't remember.
Stop.
She was upstairs or somewhere like that, but she wasn't there with us.
It's weird, isn't it? But then if that was the case, right, if a spirit could come back and you could have a romance with it, then why aren't you having all these people from all different periods of time, all throughout the world, or, you know, saying, well, my husband's come back, or my wife's come back, and we've still got a sexual relationship. And
that would be an interesting one. I must admit, right? The good thing is that it would be a great thing because you would have no one nagging you, what time you're in, what you're doing, who you're with.
Have you done the washing up? Have you done the hoovering?
But think on this, it would be a very lonely life that you lead, because if that's, you know, nobody's going to, nobody. If I turned around and said to Andy, oh, I don't need you anymore, I'm having sex with a ghost, he'd feel redundant and he'd want to leave. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stephen would say that it was giving him peace.
Probably would.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, really? I don't know. It's like, all depends on what a ghost looked like, I suppose, wouldn't it? And, you know.
I think it's what your mind imagines. It's what your mind imagines.
Lois, have you ever been ghost hunting? Here's a question for you. Have you been ghost hunting, and when you was out investigating, have you ever been touched inappropriately by unseen hands?
No, it's always been, I had one spirit hold my hand, but nothing, I can't say that I've ever had my arse grabbed or anything like that when I've been out ghost hunting. I've not been that lucky.
What about you, Dan?
Yeah, I had it.
Really?
Say. If you tell yours, I'll tell you mine.
I was with a gay guy, right, and we were a lovely guy. We were investigating, and
hey.
we both went to this room. We both went to this room, and there was a homosexual spirit there, of a male
Rent boy.
soldier, male soldier, and he pinched my ass, and I said, "Someone's just pinched." I said, "I think he's pinched my ass," and the gay bloke went, "Oh, you lucky bastard!"
But that pinch, was it like? Did you really feel a pinch?
Oh yeah, it was like.
Did it hurt?
Yeah, it
Did
did.
it hurt?
Yeah, I did.
Did you have any marks?
Lucky bastard! He went. That made me laugh. You what, Viv?
Did you get any marks where you was pinched?
I wasn't going to take my pants down to show anybody. That was it. I was like, that'll do. That'll do. I also had one touch my leg. A girl at the. It was at the. I know it was a girl because of the way it felt. She was a girl that worked at the bunker in Kelvin and Hatch. Mm. Now, you know, there's been no related deaths attached to being there or what have you. But apparently the spirit of this girl was there, ex-RAF girl, like WAF. And she worked on the computers and that there and coding and what have you, I don't know. But apparently she used to... and I said, look, if you're here, I chalked on at the time, it was a summer evening. If you're here, please feel free to touch me. Touch me on the leg because I can feel it on the leg. If you touch me on the leg, that'll be great. And within a minute, less than a minute, I felt this nails, this hand, and then these nails just go right across the top of my thigh. And it was quite nice. It was like, it was pleasant. It was like,
yeah.
Thank you. She wasn't, because I'd asked her, you know, I'd said to her, touch my leg and thigh, and it was nice.
And she did.
And she did, bless her. So, yeah, no, I had that, and that's about it, really, I think. I've had the static when you get it on that. You get it, Joe, don't you, as well?
Yeah.
When you feel like the fingers and stuff on your hair and.
Yeah, but it's not like naughty.
No.
Patches.
No, I mean the pinch in the arse. I don't care. It's funny. I'm not bothered about that.
What about you, Rent Boy? Have you been touched inappropriately?
No, I've been scratched on my neck, but that is pretty much it. I've had people touch me, but I haven't had
nothing inappropriate.
No, been punched, as you know, in the back. But I've only been scratched on the side. I haven't been touched inappropriately or anything like that. To be fair.
So I went to a place where the guy that was responsible for starting Barclays Bank he'd built this club, this gentleman's club. Okay, and there was a lot of stories about what went on with the club. I mean, there were women in back rooms, but their rooms were they had put carpet on the walls on the doors. Okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the women couldn't hear anything. So they're all in this back. Yeah. But I was in this place, and we were sitting in a notorious area where the gentleman would have been. Okay, and there was a great big table there. We're all sitting there doing a Ouija board, I think it was. And rather than chairs, they had like a long bench either side of the table. That's fine. So I sat on the end of the bench, and I was just on the corner of the Ouija board, and I was just really watching more than anything else. And I had my hands on top of the table like this, and, you know, I had my camera there taking pictures, whatever. And I sat in a long line. I think there was 5 girls on this bench, of which I was on the end. And I was sitting there. I had trousers on, jeans, and I was sitting there, as you do. And all of a sudden, I felt a sensation go up to my inside thigh, to my mini moo area. And I felt like a vibration. That's all I can say is like a vibration, like a real. And I was like, oh. And I looked under the table to see if the person opposite was mucking around. And they weren't. They were nowhere near me. There's no way they could have reached me anyway. And I thought, oh, I must have imagined that. And then it happened again. And so I made an excuse and left and came out of the room and stood just outside, just chatting to someone. And not 5 minutes had passed when one of the other girls that was sitting next to me, she came out and she said, oh, my God, Viv, you never guess what? She said, I've just been touched inappropriately between my legs. And I said, don't tell me. I said, did you feel a vibration, like a flutter? And she went, yes. And I said, I felt exactly the same, which is why I got up and left. And
Oh my
she said,
God.
well, it's funny because when you got up and left, I moved along and sat in your seat. So it was two of us that had the same experience. Can't explain that. It wasn't me. Trust me, it weren't me. You know, two of us had exactly the same feeling.
Oh my God, that's mental.
Can't explain that.
That's really
Can't
weird,
explain
that.
But talking to the owner of the building and going back to the historian, there were some naughty things that happened in that particular room in that club. So it wasn't me just feeling vibrations or me doing anything downstairs, because I felt that. I thought it was highly inappropriate. I left the room, and then when she moved across into where I was sitting, she had exactly the same.
She had it as well.
So
Oh,
all we could
wow.
put it down to is something in that room that likes doing
Women.
things to ladies. That's not particularly nice.
No.
Did you see that? Did you say thank you, Viv? No, I bloody didn't.
Oh, back again, William.
Hi.
How does one become a spiritual sex advisor? What
Well,
does it pay?
it's like most of the things in our field. You give yourself a bollocks name, pretending you're something you're not, and then you tell everybody you're in a function when you're actually earning nothing.
Well,
Pretty much like that.
Well, look at this, right? They say there's experts in the paranormal, right? Well, I'm a blown up ghost doll specialist if anybody's looking for advice how to pump up your doll. You've got the spiritual sex advisor Dan here, who will give you any tips how to have good sex with a ghost.
Oh, I've got a good tip for him.
Punch your repair kit.
Good purple tip.
When you do your business with her, she screams
and runs away. That's what she runs.
That would be brilliant. They've done a Barbie doll of the Queen now. Have you seen?
Oh my God! Oh hell no!
I have. I'm going to have to send you the link, Dan. They've done a Barbie doll special edition to celebrate the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. They've done a Barbie doll of the Queen.
Oh my God!
I'll send it to you guys on.
I actually thought you were going to say a blown up doll there. I was like,
no, just
like who fantasises about the Queen?
Some people must.
I was going to say something then, but I thought, no, I better not.
Oh, Emma says she saw that.
Yeah. I'll have to get one.
I bet it was pretty cool, actually.
Do you know, I missed out all those years ago. It sounds really rough, but they did a transvestite Barbie, and I wish I bought it. It because if I'd had that all those years ago, can you imagine how much it'd be worth now?
Money, yeah.
That's true. I never thought of it like that.
Kelly's seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all gonna have to go out and buy a Queen Barbie.
No.
Yeah, put it away. Put it away. Don't get it out of the box. Just leave it.
I mean, this subject, as I said, it would be a good laugh also, but when people do claim like they've had sex with aliens, I mean, I think there's a comment back up the way, was it from Gary? It's just not ghost people are saying they're having sex with aliens.
I saw that.
Yeah. Well, it's probably the same phenomena, isn't it? But people are just using different. I guess they're just using different figureheads to promote it. So some people it's ghosts, some people if they're into aliens, it's aliens. All sorts of weird, wonderful things.
I mean, what is everybody's opinions on objects? So having a sexual attraction to an object, like a physical object. I mean, as I said, that girl with planes. I mean,
okay, that's turning it to a bit of the kinky side of sex. You know, people have, everyone has them. I don't care who you are. There is one or another a kink that you might have that you like, and I'm not going to tell you what mine is because mine is quite private, but maybe their kink is to see an aeroplane and then it really turns them on. Like, I don't know, in general, this is one for you, Lois. Stockings and suspenders used to be the thing that used to turn men on. I mean, I've only ever worn them 3 times, and I've got 3 children, so I'm never putting them on again.
To be fair, they still turn me on. They just don't fit me anymore.
Dan, was that the picture that you sent me the other night?
That's
Because
the
I'll
picture
tell
I
you,
sent to everybody.
Jesus.
But the thing,
I look like a
everybody,
really fucked up Rocky Horror Show.
Frankenfarter.
Do you know time warp just came into my head there and stuff?
Yeah, but that's what people like. They have a kink, and some are more healthier than others. Let's just say.
Yeah.
So long it's not hurting anybody else, and you're not seeking attention, and you're keeping it private and behind closed doors. You know, I don't see what the harm is.
Yeah, if you're not exactly, I don't. You people, you know what? You're not hurting anybody, and he's dressing up as that man.
But do you think it's just like for 15 minutes of fame? Like
Yeah.
it's
I
just,
think so. Because obviously,
it's
she's
What, the
paid
whole
for
ghost
that.
thing?
like just
Yeah.
in general when people are saying they're having sex with ghosts.
But that's exactly what we're talking about, William.
Yeah,
It's
we
like
talked about that.
objects, you know, you would think that would be like, we all have like a privacy, and we all like to, as Viv said, we all have our privacy and things that we like to keep private. When you're bringing that out in the world, that takes some balls.
Yeah, but there's bringing it out in the world, and there's a way to do it, and a way to be sort of sensible about it. You know, if you join an underground BDSM or S&M scene and you're bringing it out there, then fine, because you're amongst people that are doing it anyway. But when you're bringing it to the mainstream media that you're having sex with a ghost, you need either smack at the side of the head,
Yeah, but
or you need
mental health. Viv.
or you need to go and see a doctor. You know,
mental health.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
nobody in it, with all due respect, nobody in their right mind, even if you thought that was what was happening, you'd go and see a doctor first to get advice from a psychiatrist, wouldn't you? You'd want to be recommended to somebody who could help you, wouldn't you? Because the first thing in your mind would be, even someone like me would be, that ain't a ghost. I don't know what's going on, but that's not a ghost. Something's going on here, and I need to see a doctor.
Yeah.
Then once you like all those channels are then being exhausted, if you've still got the problem, then it might be something other than. But then you still don't go. Why would you go on TV and advertise the facts? Makes no sense.
I'm just letting people know I have got a top on. You know,
Top on.
I am dressed. I'm not nude. Just for those that.
I mean, a lot of the stuff I believe in could be construed as a mental health issue. To be honest with you, but
we know that you're mental, Dan.
Well, exactly. But the things like sex with a ghost is a little bit. Maybe there's if they're having sex, they're certainly having sex with an energy, but I don't know if it's a ghost or not.
How about this? What about if they're and I'm going to turn to some dark stuff for a minute, that they maybe have been spiked, their drink spiked or their food spiked, and or even a sleeping tablet, and they're not aware of what's happened, and they've woken up the next day. I hope to God that they're not raped or anything like that. But, you know, you've taken sleeping pills, you've gone to bed, you've woken up, you're a bit sort of nasty downstairs because of, I don't know, maybe your husband's gone in and given you a quick one that you don't know about, or you've masturbated yourself while you was out of the count and didn't know about it. You feel embarrassed about it. So listen, I got raped by a ghost, or I got a ghost as a boyfriend. You know, it's just a way of covering up your embarrassment, I suppose.
But what way to do it though? By pretending a ghost is. I mean, there must be a better way to come up with a storyline that's more feasible than I've been banged by a ghost. There's got to be better ways of doing it. I mean,
mental health. Mental health, innit?
I've just been banged by a ghost left, right, and centre. He done me like a broken barn door. I mean, it's a bit.
I'd be saying to this woman, prove it, prove it, prove it. How can you prove it?
Well, think about now what they're talking about, right? I don't know if you guys have heard this, right? But apparently now they're making
Sex in the Safe.
talking about like they're talking about sex robots, people having like sex with robots in the future, and apparently
the next thing will be that sex robot is possessed by some evil spirit or something. That'll be the next thing, and you heard it here first.
Yeah.
hello.
Oh, William, if you're still on, because William Southey might know, incubus and succubus, are these? I suppose they're ancient demons. You said, Dan, didn't you?
Or deities, demons, deities. Yeah.
Are they summoned? Is that the way? I mean, and are there more than one, or is there just one incubus and one succubus that goes everywhere?
That's me and you both, Richard.
Oh, what's he saying? Oh,
sorry. Oh,
I've done a ton of paranormal investigations in my life. Never once been offered sex from a ghost. Am I just not?
Richard, it's because you're not wearing the right pants. They can see your pants, you know. So make sure you put your good ones on.
Put a K2 meter down there to see if it lights up.
It's all right. As long as you don't put a REM pod down there, because that buzzes like hell, doesn't it? We were talking about the entity. Exactly.
At least if you put a K2 meter down there, it flashes red for no, green for yes.
That is true.
There are
things.
There are little toys on the market made for ladies in the shapes of very long cigars, let's say, that do have flashy lights and beads that go around in them. They have flashy lights as well, and the top moves.
Why would you want flashy lights? What's the whole flashy light? What?
So you can light the way.
You see it.
So why not? So why not turn it into a K2 meter to see if it, you know?
I just don't get the whole concept of certain. I'm trying to think out what does because of the show and because of Facebook. What about changing where you stick beads? You know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, those beads, yeah. Up your bum beads.
Yes, anal beads. Why not? We'll break the full show anyway, so we might as well break it down.
I do. Oh, it's weird, and it's very odd.
Weird and wonderful, isn't it?
I think what a lot of people are doing is if they are having these sort, and I'm not denying that they're having certain experiences, but I think what they're doing is they're misconstruing spirits or ghosts for another type of energy.
Yeah.
See, people think that every type of energy is a ghost or a spirit, and it's not. It is a spiritual in its essence, but it's not the spirit of a person necessarily.
But
it could be a spirit of.
I blame these medium ghost hunters that go around and they go into this room. Oh, feel this energy. I've got this energy with me. I can feel this. I can feel that. It's got fuck all to do with the haunting in the property. You know what I mean? And I'm blaming them. Like they're false readings. You're picking up an energy that's floating around in the ether. It could have come from outside. It could have come in with a person. It's got nothing to do with the haunting. You know, and these mediums that I've seen it so many times, I blame them that fill gullible people up. They fill their minds with all sorts of rubbish, and I think this is where it could stem from, Dan.
Well, do you know what? There's one, right? What if it's a long shot and it's way out there, but what if somebody fancied something rotten and couldn't stop thinking about them, and they were the sole purpose of their desire, right? Then when they went to sleep, they dreamt about having sex with them. What's to say that their energy or their spirit hasn't gone across and is trying to attempt to have sex with them?
Yeah, but that's like stalkerish, isn't it? It's like
But that's what I mean. But what's to say it's not a physical energy in the sense that?
Well, so if I did that and thought about adamant so long and so hard and all the rest of it, that I could end up having an imaginary.
Yeah. Well, imaginary, but he could be feeling the physical. You could both be feeling the physical, but for you it's a pleasure. For him, maybe not.
Oh,
it's just wasted it.
Would that not be astral projection.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. What's the say? You know, they say, what do they say? If you're thinking of somebody, chances are they're thinking of you at the same time.
Well,
Well,
you'd
what if
hope so,
you're
wouldn't
thinking
you?
about? What if you're thinking about somebody and all of a sudden you're asleep and you're projecting yourself onto them? So you're thinking, well, having a lovely dream, you're making love to them, call it whatever you want, shagging, banging, whatever. I don't know. But all of a sudden, you're doing it to them. They're suffering the reverberations of that. You know what I mean?
We'll have to try that. We'll have to try an experiment.
Dan, you're right.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm of an age now where I go to sleep, all I want to do is kip.
Yeah, me and you.
Even when I'm awake, I can't be bothered. I just want to. I stay awake all day, dreaming of getting to sleep.
Well, Dan, why don't you just say what my pal says? I'm married and I don't do those things.
Oh, do you know what?
You've
Even
got
before
left
I was
alone.
married, I couldn't be arsed with it.
But no, I don't know why. I don't know why this subject, the subject of sex, not just in ghost hunting and in paranormal, but just in general, why that subject is so taboo. I think that's what society has made it. But you know what? When somebody does pop up and says, I had sex with a ghost, it's so shocking because we've made sex. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think the Dutch are quite...
open, aren't they, about it?
Yeah.
Oh, Addis.
They're very, I think they're very, because I haven't been, but Amsterdam, you go on like Red District, they've got shop after shop after shop. It's like going into a sweet shop.
Wait,
Do you know what I mean?
wait, no, Jamie, how do you know about the Light District?
I haven't, like I said,
Emma.
I have not been.
Emma, what is your favourite saying? Is that the shagging and banging?
That's the one that I'm talking about to Dan when I said I'm married and I don't do these things.
No, I quoted that I haven't been. I've just heard and I've seen documentaries about it.
Oh.
Do you know what? They are very
I've
open.
been there.
I've been there, and my friends, but they were right gits. We were doing dares, and we put money in. Somebody held it, and they chose somebody to do a dare to win that money. And I got the dare to go into a sex shop and ask them for a 4-way vibrator. And they didn't know what one was. So I had to draw it on a piece of paper. So I just did a cross type thing.
Is there such a thing?
No. And they said, oh, we'll try and make one and we'll get it marketed and we'll have it in the shop. And they were very interested in this 4-way vibrator. And I'm thinking, I got them my money, though. That paid for breakfast. So I was happy. I thought I wouldn't do it, but
you did.
I did it.
But it's so, when you talk about that, some people, I mean, can be so gullible. I can always remember, and I'll never ever forget this, and I hadn't long started caring. And one of the guys, right, seen how somebody was so keen, right, and they would do absolutely anything. So he says to this poor boy, he says, could you do me a wee favour? He says, could you go up to the nurse and ask her to look out a fallopian tube for me, please? And he like hear it beyond, didn't even know what a fallopian tube was, went up and asked the nurse, can I have a fallopian tube, please?
Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
she was like, what the hell?
There's a nice place in Germany. Jamie.
Thank you.
Oh.
And I know what that's called. Dr. Muller. Dr. Muller shops.
Muller.
Not Muller Lights, but Dr. Muller.
What's that, the yoghurt?
No, Dr. Muller, not Muller Lights.
Don't try and act all it, Jamie. You know exactly what it is.
Oh, mate, I don't, to be fair. You have to explain now. Dr. Miller, what goes on here?
Google it.
All right.
But I don't think there's that many spirits that are active, that are reported that are actually sexual, though, is there really?
No.
Nothing major, apart from that woman with the entity, the incubus and succubus through history, and the woman that married a ghost and had a baby, and the other one that married the pirate and then got divorced. I mean,
That is brilliant. The pirate one.
That was Johnny Depp,
Right.
wasn't it?
Yes. Was Johnny Depp? Yeah.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Hey, I wouldn't be complaining if that was a ghost.
But it's like you saying about William Wallace, isn't it?
Nah, I was never a fan of him.
But no, what, was you alive? Did you see him?
He comes and sees me every night.
Yeah,
There you go. There you go.
But the thing is, though, I mean, ghost or no ghost, let's face it, us as human beings, it can't beat the real thing, whether you're having it with your partner, whether you're promiscuous, whether you're having same sex, whatever it is that you are, you cannot beat having the real deal. Why would you have to make this thing up? I mean, if you can't get it, you can pay for it. You can order it online. They come to your house. It's just not that I would, but
No.
you
But
know,
that's true. You can. It's not. You don't need to go out looking for it, do you? It's there, isn't it? If you want it, you don't need to. It's weird, isn't it? It's just odd, isn't it? It's just It's clearly, I mean, in most cases, a mental health issue. I would think.
Yeah.
Oh, Terry's brought up something really.
It could be.
Yes.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yes, you've heard of Dog Man, but there's also Dogging Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is that-
I'm talking about
Is that no like Dan 7 days a week? He's once during the day he's dog man, and then at night he's a dogging man.
Well, I'm both.
Yeah.
It could be. It could be. There's all sorts of weird and wonderful situations with people out there.
I think it's all used to cover up certain little sneaky kinks and secrets and lies, and some people get caught up in the celebrity, like that girl that was on this morning TV program.
Yep.
She was clearly not the full ticket. If you watch that interview, you could see that she was glazed over, and she was just really. They did that for entertainment purposes.
See, that's another thing. But I suppose there's two sides to this one, right? She's. I hate using the word vulnerable because it's no. She's obviously wanted to go and do this, but I'm glad I've entertained you the night with this subject. It was a good subject. I just couldn't date another network because of principles and that. So as I was saying, so she sort of put herself out there. It's how about this. So she's putting herself out there, right, by saying I'm married to Private or having a baby or whatever, right? But I think the other problem is that media likes exploiting subjects like this.
But that's what media does, though. TV and media does exactly that. Newspapers do exactly that. I mean, she was most probably saying that she was pregnant, carrying a ghost baby, because she was fat and she was self-conscious about her size or whatever. It's just like me saying I'm going to have my ghost baby in a minute, and it's just Foster's, years of Foster's.
You know what?
It
could be a case as well that she couldn't have a child, and so that's the only way that she can. So it's like a mental health issue in that respect, which is heartbreaking if that's the case. I mean, whatever situation is heartbreaking, isn't it? The fact that it's culminated in that is sad. Not sad until you sad sob, but it's heartbreakingly sad. I don't know. But then you know what? 15, 20 years ago, if you went on TV talking about the spirits, they'd have you on there to ridicule you, but not so much now.
Yeah. I blame media, right? And I really blame media for a lot of things, right? I blame Oh, for God's sake.
Now, here's a question.
If must be dropping them blue pills like there's no tomorrow.
If they're being attacked by these so-called spirit, are any of them going to the STD clinic to see if they've got any
spiritually transmitted diseases?
Yeah.
Transmitted diseases.
Chlamydia, AIDS, gonorrhea,
Go-
whatever, you can still transmit. You know, are they having the ghost infection down there next? What?
Well, this is
This
I
true,
is
isn't
but
it?
I
Mm.
think can you
ridiculous.
imagine that? But can you imagine, right? I have sex with a ghost, right? And then I say I start dating. I'll use Dan as an example. I start dating Dan, right? Heaven forbid that happens, right? I go to the clinic, and just for something regular, and they say, Miss Haddle, you have chlamydia. Can you imagine me going back and saying to Dan, well, Dan, my last boyfriend, he's a spirit, gave me chlamydia. Dan would have me signed in somewhere. He would have me dumped outside Broadmoor or something.
Yeah, but there was that one. I think it was the pirate woman. Didn't she get divorced him because he had sex with somebody else? The
Well, the
pirate
ghost
went
did.
off, and so she ended up getting divorced.
Oh, wait a
So
minute, I'm going to
if
Google
that
that one.
if that was the case, she needs to be getting down to that STD clinic to make sure he hasn't passed on any STDs onto her.
No.
Well, seriously, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Spunkoplasm.
I wish a ghost would have sex with John. What, my cat?
No, that's Emma. I bet it's Emma's husband, isn't it?
My cat has sex. My cat has sex with a fluffy cover. That's it. He's just weird, my cat, and that's all he needs to do. Don't need no horny cats in my house.
I found
So-
the article. What it said was, she revealed that she noticed that things were happening. You can't blame everything on the paranormal, she says, but I also knew about spiritual attachments and possessions. She believes that her former husband, Jack, was the root of her problems. He was basically like an energy vampire. When spirits stay around too long, they need an energy source, and unfortunately, Jack was using me as an energy source. He'd never accepted his own death, so he wanted to continue living through my body. In the end, a lot of red flags, and in the end, after the operation, I realised that it definitely was him. And it took me a while to figure out whether he knew or not that it was definitely him, and he intended to harm me.
Oh, was that actually her husband that she was
Wow.
married?
Oh,
Was he
that's the one with
Was he living?
the pirate.
The ghost was called Jack.
Oh, right. But he wasn't alive in her time.
No. What she's saying is she thinks it's no, it's a ghost, a pirate from the 1700s.
See, it could be an energy that she's
she clearly isn't of the right frame of mind. Clearly. No. But it's been an interesting subject, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's been interesting.
It has been.
Think it has.
I've actually felt so weird being at the top. I want to kind of say, Viv, can we switch places? Because I've been so weird at being at the top. Because I'm at Viv, Dan, me, Pasha.
You're next to your Dan, and I've got my rent boy sitting there.
Yeah.
Now that you said that, Dan, can I hold your hand?
There you go. Hey!
You know what I'm gonna say? Oi, Parker, put that collar down.
Parker, I'm gonna bump him on the head. Hang on.
Yeah.
Is it working?
Give him a
Is
thump.
That better?
But it's definitely been an interesting one. And do you know what, guys? I'm quite glad we've had a talk about this, because it's been really, really good.
It's interesting.
It's been interesting, yeah.
Yeah. But it's just like people need to get a grip.
Yeah.
And just look at themselves.
In fact, I would be really interested to know if any. You look.
He's calling you crumpy. I thought he said crumpy. Comfy.
Comfy,
Lewis. I'm sitting here all comfy. I do wonder, right? I've never ever seen not on any pages, right? But I've wondered if, if any paranormal investigator have had Andy turn up saying sort of things like that. It would be interesting to hear their stories.
Do you know what? If a paranormal investigator turned up around me and said, "Oh, you never guessed what happened to me the other night. I had sex with a ghost," I would slap that fucker seriously right across the mush and say,
That's
No,
where he lives.
what I
"Fencing to
mean,
you."
what I mean is that they've had someone come to them and say about ghosts and sex and everything else.
I'll be saying to him, "Did you slap him? Go back and
Yeah.
slap him."
I've never had it in the years I've been doing it. I've never had that. Never had anybody come to me say
No,
that
I've
they've
not.
like
No,
No, I haven't.
No.
Well, I haven't done it as much as you guys, but still, if someone
What
said
sex?
to me,
What sex with a ghost?
no, if someone said to me, right, you need to help me out. We've got
Jamie,
this situation.
you've got specialists with you. What is your problem? I'm the dog
Yeah.
specialist, but you've got Viv and Dan that are sex guru and sex advisor. They can help you any way that you need it.
Well,
I wouldn't
Yes.
advise coming to us for help.
So
you get told to do one or get a slap.
this sex guru Viv would tell anyone, get yourself naked, sit cross-legged in front of the mirror and breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, and feel the energy flowing through your body.
Nice. My advice would be get yourself a 6-pack of cider, sit down, put Star Wars on, don't bother about sex, chill. You'll be much happier in the end.
Yeah. What's your advice, Red Boy?
Stop smoking a spliff, I suppose.
There you go.
Well, I think it's probably drug related as well. It's got to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're probably right,
Hallucinations
actually.
and stuff
You're
like.
probably
I don't
right.
know. What is it? Acid that hallucinates? Is it?
Yep.
Certain prescribed medicines will make you hallucinate too.
Yes.
Mushrooms.
Yeah, when I had surgery on my hand, one of the tablets was making her be a bit, but that's what the effects were of the drugs. But
I've had a sex with a ghost, no one was there. I could see and did feel a thing. Will not recommend.
That's about right. Oh dear.
Just put a mat under. Just put a mat on your bed at night, like a waterproof mat, so that
what?
if you're
Sorry, say that again.
A waterproof mat in case you piss yourself. Yes. Wet dreams, Jamie. I know you have plenty.
And
Sorry,
don't,
I was just translating.
And do not use the curtains to wipe afterwards.
No.
Get a tissue.
No. Definitely don't do that.
You know, crispy bits on the curtains is not good.
Just get the dog to lick it up.
Oh.
It's gonna make me heave. Oh God.
In that case, use the curtains. Sorry, guys.
You're rank.
And just make sure that your couch is not a colour that it can bring up the evidence.
Yeah.
Harry says, I would tell him, if at first you don't succeed, try again.
Try again.
Oh,
guys.
Well, I think we've come to the end of the show. I think we've exhausted all avenues, and now we're going down. We're slowly going downhill very quickly.
Oh, come on, Viv. We've been going downhill as soon as the lights went on.
I'm a lights off.
As soon as it went live.
Oh dear! It's all Jamie's fault.
Of course it is.
Always my fault.
I blame Jamie.
Have we got a topic for next week? Have we?
We have. What was the topics? On Tuesday.
That's Tuesday.
Is that Tuesday's one?
This is Tuesdays. We will be talking haunted toilets on the Things Network on Tuesday at 7:00.
Can't
Thank you,
wait.
Emma.
Got Wednesday. What have you guys got Wednesday night?
We have a lady on Wednesday on Simply Spooky called Robin Swanson, aka Madam. So we will be talking all things witchy with Robin. So that would be
Nice lady.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on Friday next week, Jamie, Rent Boy, pick the subject.
Oh, put me on the spot now, aren't you? Definitely.
Go on, pick one. Do it.
Do it, do it.
Oh,
Do
thanks,
it.
Kelly.
You proper put me on the spot.
Go, Jamie. It's your birthday. Go, Jamie. Go, Jamie.
You really put me on the spot. I'll tell you in a minute. You proper put me on the spot.
Okay, well, Gary's got to come up with a comment. He says, good show, guys and girls, but we'll be going soon as having sex with a ghost. Don't tell Sharon.
I won.
Take your wet wipes with you, Gary. Clean up after you go.
And make sure and use protection. Don't want any ghost babies.
Or just wipe yourself on the sheet that the ghost's made out of. better than the curtains.
Oh God! Have you thought of one, Jamie?
No.
Why not?
Don't know.
All right, Dan, you pick it next week.
All right, would you want to pick one now or not? Or for next week?
Go
or
on.
next week? Next week. Haunted toilets.
No,
Are we doing that Tuesday? We're doing that Tuesday.
What about
it's quite hard, isn't it? Keep thinking.
spectral animals?
Yes.
The what?
Spectral animals.
I'm confused.
DJ, it wasn't that hard.
I'm confused now. You'll have to explain.
Oh my God! Ghosts of animals.
Oh, sorry.
Religious hauntings.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's
That is a good one.
Whoa.
Good one, young
Okay.
Terry. Good one, young man.
We could do that the week after if you wanted.
Yeah.
I was ready to say residents, religious hauntings and nuns and priests. That is actually quite a good one because
That is interesting, yes. Yes.
I've written it down. So we'll do that the week after next. How's that?
awesome.
On our Friday night fun.
Good.
Mm.
So anything closing to say, Dan?
No, thanks everybody for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Have a great weekend, have a safe weekend, and we'll speak to you Tuesday next week, Viv, won't we? And I think we're all on. Are we all on Tuesday?
Yes,
Yep,
we
I'll
are.
meet you Tuesday.
We're all on
Aye.
Tuesday. So we'll be back then, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
See you later, guys.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Stay
Bye.
safe.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.